get into the festive spirit.
It's dinner time here.
Are you on the nice list?
I hope I'm on the list. Happy holidays. Travel reporter John Bartell here. You know, this season there's a lot to celebrate, and what better way to do it than to explore some of the greatest holiday getaways and winter destinations. We're going to start this road trip off right here in Fresno, California, home to the largest community lighting display. Christmas Tree Lane takes an ordinary neighborhood and turns it into a magical tunnel of holiday cheer. Take a look. Before the big day in December, you'll find Santa Claus hanging out in quite possibly the most festive neighborhood in California.
Why do you keep coming back here every year?
Christmas Tree Lane embodies Christmas. People come down this lane and give so that this lane can stay lit. It is the most marvelous thing in the world. I have to come here.
For about 3 weeks in December, a line of cars, often backed up for hours, wait their turn to roll down one of the oldest community-run lighting displays in the nation.
The claim to fame is that we are the longest running and the longest length Christmas Tree Lane in the country.
The neighborhood's dedication to tree lighting dates back more than 100 years, but resident and Christmas Tree Lane coordinator Dan Gallagher says the tradition started as a memorial.
It started with the death of a child back in 1920. And so the family decorated their deodar cedar, which was maybe 4 feet tall at the time. And every year following, each of their neighbors, just kind of to show their solidarity in memoriam, they each decorated their deodar or Christmas tree.
Deodar cedars were the signature trees planted along Van Ness Boulevard when the community first started. In the 1920s, they were small and easy for individual homeowners to light up, but today, the more than 300 or so trees require professional setup that plugs into overhead power lines.
What is the power bill like on this?
You know, $3,000 to $4,000 for a month of running lights at night.
Christmas Tree Lane has gained immense popularity over the years after being featured in a number of magazines and television shows. Today, over 100,000 people visit the lighting display every year, but to see the show, the community doesn't charge a dime.
For me, I can hear the people, especially the kids, screaming from their car, look, and they see something that they love, they're laughing, the Christmas music's playing. That just warms your heart. You've done all this work hoping to make something that people enjoy, and when you see it and hear it, it's a payoff.
Within California's backcountry in the Tahoe National Forest, you can still hear echoes of the 1960s Winter Games. Strap on your skis, because we're heading to Olympic Valley to ride the trails once raced by Olympians. In February of 1960, the snowy mountains in the Tahoe National Forest filled with spectators. The 8th Winter Olympic Games were underway, and a brand new event was added to the lineup.
This is the birthplace of Olympic biathlon.
If you're not familiar with the history of biathlon or the sport itself, author and historian David Antonucci will gladly explain.
They had to ski and then stop and rest and shoot as accurately as they could.
I definitely need to work on my form a little here.
Yeah.
And he'll even show you the historic Olympic cross-country trail at Sugar Pine Point State Park.
How long was the biathlon?
It was 20 kilometers, interspersed with 4 shooting ranges.
A biathlon combines cross-country skiing and rifle shooting. Competitors race around a course, shooting at a series of targets.
Every missed shot adds a penalty of 2 minutes to his running time.
Yeah, there were a lot of media attention to it. It was very exciting. People didn't know quite what to expect.
David wrote the book Snowball's Chance, a historic chronicle of the 1960s Olympics. He says the biathlon was so new that a cross-country trail and shooting range had to be built specifically for it.
Unfortunately, these ranges were far from the spectator area, and the public wasn't allowed out here because of the danger from the firearms.
When the games were all over, much of the cross-country and biathlon course had to be removed.
All of the trails and infrastructure was on private land. The landowners required them to remove everything.
The state parks eventually bought the land where the historic Olympic trails used to be. They called it Sugar Pine Point State Park. Now every year, the Olympic Trail is groomed for visitors to experience completely free. Now let's head over to Leavenworth, Washington, home to a quirky museum that takes cracking nuts to a whole new level. The Nutcracker Museum displays thousands of nutcrackers from around the world, a cheerful stop that guarantees to crack a smile. Since the 1960s, a European influence has taken over the little mountain town of Leavenworth, with its Bavarian-style architecture, its many Alpine-inspired murals, and of course, its vast collection of nutcrackers.
You have to lift it.
So it actually works. Oh,
Oh, yes.
yeah. You
Yeah. It worked.
Don't get your finger in there.
No.
Big, small, old, and new. Here at the Leavenworth Nutcracker Museum, there's a nutcracker for every holiday, every occasion, and in any shape or size imaginable. I don't see any handle on it, though. There's no handle.
I know it doesn't need one because you take the top off, you put a nut in here, and then you put the top back on and whack it.
Arlene Wagner is the curator of the museum, and around here, she's earned the nickname the Nutcracker Lady. I have not seen very many Nutcracker museums.
This is the only one in the United States. There is one in Neuhausen, Germany.
From the primitive rock nutcracker to the complex mechanical crackers, Arlene has more than 9,000 different nut extracting devices, some dating back centuries.
This is a 15th century nutcracker.
Arlene started the Nutcracker Museum with her late husband, George Wagner, back in 1995. The two shared a fascination with nutcrackers after antique shopping and later spent their spare time traveling the world looking for them.
There is no other collectible or tool made in as many different ways or as many different materials as the nutcracker.
Arlene says for as long as nuts have been around, humans have been breaking them out of their shells and eating them. In fact, Arlene, who is 100 years old, says nuts may be the key to longevity. You've made it to 100 years old. Is that because you eat a lot of nuts? Is that...
Oh, I eat a lot of nuts.
Yeah.
That's because I was raised on a farm when we ate natural.
Back to California in the small community of Hughson, holiday color bursts in every direction at Duarte's Poinsettias, where thousands of red, pink, and snowy white blooms create a festive wonderland. It's a place where Christmas truly grows, and the holiday spirit blossoms on every corner. Starting in mid-November, a shopping frenzy for poinsettias begins at Duarte Nursery in Hughson.
Honestly, it's the main way we connect with the community. As a commercial crops nursery, we don't see the people of Hughson and Ceres and Modesto that often.
Within their massive greenhouse complex, the Duarte family grows more than 40,000 poinsettias a year, one of the largest growers in the nation.
It's literally a sea of flowers, and people's jaws always drop when they walk in the door.
Cassandra Duarte is a third-generation nursery operator and poinsettia grower.
My grandparents started Duarte Nursery back in 1989. Duarte Poinsettias started in 1993 as a way to keep our seasonal employees here year-round.
Around here, Cassandra's grandmother, Anita Duarte, is known as the Poinsettia Lady. How does one get that title?
Being out here for 30 years, maybe, selling poinsettias.
Growing poinsettias has been a long-standing tradition for the Duarte family, but the plant itself originates from southern Mexico. For centuries, its vibrant leaves have been used in religious ceremonies. In 1828, U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, Dr. Joel Poinsett, brought a clipping back to his plantation in South Carolina. From there, he shared the plant with others, and people were instantly drawn to its bright red leaves.
Actually, the poinsettia leaf is what turns color. This little pod in the middle is the blossom.
It's not much of a flower, is it?
Not much of a flower. These are just leaves.
Today, there's over 100 varieties of poinsettias available in a range of colors. The vibrant hues only appear in winter, when the days are short and the nights are long.
Every year, poinsettias start off as green, just the green of these leaves, and then they turn color with darkness. So you want to do 14 hours of darkness every 24-hour cycle.
Though beautiful, poinsettias have gotten a bad rap recently. Cassandra says there's a common misperception that the plants are toxic to pets and children.
That's not true. What happens is a lot of the time, different retailers will put dyes or sparkles or artificial inputs into their poinsettias, and that's what makes them toxic. Our poinsettias don't have any dyes. The coloring is all natural.
One other misconception the Duartes like to point out is the pronunciation of the plant. Poinsettia or poinsettia?
Either way.
Either way.
Either
Poinsettia,
way. Yes.
poinsettia.
Yeah, either way.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. And
whatever.
That's coming from the poinsettia lady.
Yeah, right.
All right, so
California's Central Valley is the nation's top producer of poinsettias. So many are produced here that December 12th has been dedicated as National Poinsettia Day. So no matter what color you choose or how you pronounce it, there's plenty of these holiday flowers to go around. All right, let's continue our road trip to some of the greatest winter destinations. Up next, we're gonna head back to Leavenworth, Washington, to the reindeer farm, where antlers, sleigh bells, and a whole lot of reindeer attitude meets you at every corner. In the Bavarian-style town of Leavenworth, Washington, where the Wenatchee River meets Icicle Creek, there's a small farm with a big secret. It's where Santa's reindeer rest up and bulk up before Christmas.
it's dinner time here. What are you feeding them now?
This is called lichen moss, or old man's beard.
Okay.
And it grows in the old growth forest. So we have a lot of it here in Washington State.
If you didn't know, Santa's reindeer split their time between the North Pole and here at the Leavenworth Reindeer Farm with caretaker Erica Bowie.
I'm the lead elf probably around here, but we're a family-run farm. 3 generations of our family work together on the farm every day. So my parents, Kari and Hans Anderson, started the farm.
You may be wondering why Santa chose to keep his reindeer here in Washington. Well, Erica says there's a good reason.
We get that question a lot, actually. Well, Washington State, is specifically Leavenworth, Washington, sits at the same latitude on Earth as places like Mongolia, where actually some of the largest, healthiest herds in the world roam today.
So we're really kind of in the...
We're in the reindeer zone.
Huh.
In fact, Washington State was the last state in the lower 48 to have reindeer in the wild, or what we call caribou here in North America.
Reindeer and caribou are basically the same species. There's just one difference.
Caribou are wild, reindeer are domesticated, and they have been for thousands of years.
Erica says the Sami people from Norway, Sweden, and Finland use them as livestock, either as food or as pack animals that carried or pulled supplies and sleighs. Here at the Leavenworth Reindeer Farm, they're pets, and visitors can feed them lichen moss or willow leaves. But in the wild, Erica says they also eat something else.
Reindeer love lichen moss. They love magic mushrooms. Helps with the flying part, of course.
Yep, you heard that right. Erica said they eat magic mushrooms, the psychedelic kind, and Erica has quite the story about how humans found that out.
You know, the legend of flying reindeer actually came from magic mushrooms. Remember the Sami people I was telling you about that call northern Norway, Sweden, and Finland their home? It is rumored, or it is storied, that they used to actually drink reindeer's urine.
Okay.
And they would feel the effects of the magic mushrooms without having to worry about any of the dangerous effects. They'd sit around their campfire and look up in the sky, and they'd think their reindeer were flying through the sky.
Culture is fun.
Culture's so fun.
Reindeer are fascinating and gentle animals, and Leavenworth is one of the few places where you can get up close to them and learn all about them.
You know, let's see the, I guess this one doesn't have a red nose. She doesn't.
No.
No.
Reindeer only have red nose on Christmas Eve, right?
When A Charlie Brown Christmas first aired in 1965, it was an instant classic, but what you may not know is that it was a bit of a rush job. You can learn all about it right here at the Charles M. Schulz Museum in Santa Rosa.
You've been dumb before, Charlie Brown, but this time you really did it.
For many families, watching Charlie Brown and the Peanuts Gang on Christmas has been a tradition since it first aired 60 years ago.
Basically half the televisions in the United States are tuned into this program. It wins an Emmy, it wins a Peabody Award, and of course becomes an instant classic.
What's going on here?
A Charlie Brown Christmas was creator Charles Schulz's very first animated cartoon. Prior to that, the Peanut comic strip had been primarily printed on newspapers, but it was the Coca-Cola Company who first asked producer Lee Mendelson if Peanuts could be adapted for television.
So they called him and said, hey, how about a Christmas show? And he said, why not? Sure, yeah, we could do that. And immediately called Charles Schulz and said, I just sold a Charlie Brown Christmas. He goes, what's that? We're gonna write it right now.
The script for A Charlie Brown Christmas was just 10 pages long, and you can see the original pages at the Charles M. Schulz Museum in Santa Rosa.
Charlie Brown, you're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem.
Museum curator Benjamin Clark says one of the reasons it was so short is because the whole production of A Charlie Brown Christmas was kind of a rush job.
And getting it done, it was kind of its own Christmas miracle. I mean, it really was.
Charles Schulz and his team had just a few months to write, animate, and record the 25-minute special before Christmas. The deadline was short, but Charles Schulz didn't let TV executives control the artistic decision-making process. Decisions like using real children to voice the characters.
Used a lot of kids who just had never done any of it. And some of them were even too young to really read their lines.
You write it and I'll tell you what I want to say.
And so Lee Mendelson was sitting there, feeding them their lines, sentence by sentence.
Oh, brother.
Another artistic choice made in the production was the use of jazz music scored by musician Vince Guaraldi, a choice that didn't go over well with executives when they screened the show for the first time.
Those execs at CBS, they saw it and just said, no, they were already had a contract for probably 3 specials. And they told Lee, no, we're probably not going to do those other 2. It's like, this is terrible.
Fortunately for Charles Schulz, A Charlie Brown Christmas was already marketed and promoted, and the TV executives had no choice but to run the animated special. And not only was the cartoon an instant hit, but so was that soundtrack.
Yes, it's the best-selling Christmas album of all time. Should it go 6 times platinum, it'll be probably the best-selling jazz album of all time.
Today, the Charles M. Schulz Museum brings in thousands of people from all over the world to skate on the famous ice rink and get a cup of Snoopy's favorite winter drink.
No trip is complete without getting a little warm puppy, Coco.
At its core, A Charlie Brown Christmas is a simple story about celebrating what the creator Charles Schulz believed to be the true meaning of Christmas. But the way it was produced helped change the way animation is made. Tiny trains, big Christmas cheer, and a joyful whistle of steam engines sets the stage for a holiday ride like no other. In Sacramento County, the Sacramento Valley Live Steamers Santa train delivers the magic of the holiday season.
What do you want for Christmas?
PS5.
Good times and holiday spirits. That's what train fanatics at the Sacramento Valley Live Steamers have been hauling around behind them since 1972. All right, yeah, the steam is flying today.
It is. A nice cold day really accentuates the steam.
Steamer President Steve Millward says the mile-long track crisscrosses the eastern edge of Rancho Cordova's Hagen Park, and it has a surprise around every corner.
There's a lot of, look at that, look at that. They're enjoying everything they see along the way because there's a lot of trees, so you can't see around the corner. You come around the corner, well, there's another display.
On a busy weekend, more than 20 different locomotives might show up and pull passengers on those 7.5 gauge track that takes you along the American River, where you cross over bridges, pass by waterfalls, and go through tunnels.
This is a representation of a snow shed like you can see up in the Sierras. And this was built a number of years ago, but it's just an added attraction for the railroad.
Smile.
The 25-minute ride makes one stop along the way, so passengers can tell Santa what they want for Christmas. While you're there, you can also check out the much smaller model train displays. Steve says for over 50 years, the railroad park has inspired generations of families to experience locomotives on a small scale.
I think there's almost an ingrained interest in trains for kids, and they get out here, they can see it, they can touch it, they can smell it, versus seeing it on a video game or on a TV screen. This is the real thing for them.
Hey, welcome back to Bartell's Backroads. We're checking out some great winter getaways. Here in Occidental, California, twinkling lights glow under giants, creating a magical scene. Here at Christmas in the Redwoods, the forest is turned into a holiday wonderland. When the sun starts to set over the towering redwoods in Sonoma County, a mysterious creature tiptoes through the forest, spreading holiday cheer. Did I see Bigfoot up here?
He roams around here sometimes. You know, if you're lucky if you catch him.
Oh. Well, it's normally too dark to see Bigfoot at night, but during Christmas in the Redwoods, the forest is lit up bright enough for visitors to spot Sasquatch from the comfort of their own car.
Christmas in the Redwoods, and we basically have it broken up into 3 areas. So this first area we call Sparkletown.
Dan Ferguson is with Alliance Redwoods, and they set up this lighting display in a portion of their 115-acre camping and ziplining property in order to help expose people to redwoods.
Yeah, there's actually a physical impact. Redwoods release something called phytoncides, and they reduce the cortisol in your cells, and they actually help you feel better.
Like a stress reliever.
Yeah, a little bit.
Coastal redwoods are rare. They're among the tallest and oldest trees in the world, and they're only found along narrow coastal bands from Central California to Southern Oregon. Experiencing their grandeur during the day is special, but it's a whole different experience at night.
Walking around in this forest at day is awe-inspiring, but even at night, if you get a clearing where you can look up and see the stars, and we take groups that are here, we take them up on astronomy walks and let them see the stars. It's pretty amazing to be looking at all that through the canopy of the redwood trees.
As you follow the lighting display through the forest, you'll be greeted by the usual characters: Rudolph, Santa, and even the abominable snowman. By the end of the tour, Redwood Alliance hopes that visitors, young and old, realize the strength, resilience, and importance of redwoods. Many of you may be familiar with the story of Santa Claus, but long before Saint Nick was handing out presents to good boys and girls, there was an evil monster looking for those bad kids so he could whip him with his stick. Every December, a hooved creature trots into Elk Grove, California. With a stick in his hand, the creature is on the lookout for naughty, nasty children. His name is Krampus, and at this event,
3, 2, 1.
He's actually pretty harmless. He just wants to take a picture with you.
He's celebrated all around the world with parades and with traditions, and he's really making a big comeback right now.
Welcome to A Very Krampus Christmas, an annual holiday fair put on by Mystical Celtic Heart, a holistic and metaphysical store.
This has been a part of Christmas for longer than Christmas has been a part of Christmas. So Krampus actually came long before the St. Nicholas story.
If you are unfamiliar with the story of Krampus, it dates back to medieval Europe. During Yule, or winter solstice, pagans would tell their kids stories of a child-eating monster in order to scare the kids into behaving. Andrea Ramirez tells it a lot better than I can.
If you ever acted bad this year, you're going to regret it, because Krampus will come, and he'll come on the sled with St. Nicholas, and he'll knock on your door, and you'll hear that hoof, knock, knock, knock. And then, even if you don't answer, Krampus will come in, and he'll take his big laurel tree branch, and he'll smack you on the bottom, and he'll rattle his chains, and he'll grab you and throw you in his basket, and he'll shake you around until you're a good kid again.
Originally, the pagans gave Krampus his own holiday called Krampusnacht, but when Christians adopted the story, they added Saint Nick to the folklore, and Krampus became Santa's evil sidekick.
Yeah, because they would both come to your house, but depending on how good you were, Krampus would either take you out back or Santa would give you gifts.
Andrea says in the United States, the story of Krampus was eventually replaced with Santa's bag of coal. But in much of the world, Krampus is alive and well and is celebrated with parades and festivals.
We're bringing him back, yeah. Krampus is here, he's alive.
Well, thanks for watching this special edition of Bartell's Backroads, and tag it along with me as I show you some of the greatest holiday getaways. I hope it's inspired you to take a little road trip of your own. I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.